and a happy game day wherever you're watching us from as we tip off the 2023-2024 high school basketball season here at Anniston High School. As a couple of local rivals take the hardwood tonight, White Plains will make the short trip westward over to Anniston to face the Anniston Bulldogs.
Yeah, short little trip down the highway. And, you know, the last time these two teams met on this floor, James, there was a trip to JSU on the line, and White Plains won a game they weren't expected to win here back in February that got them a trip all the way up to Jacksonville in the regionals, where they eventually bowed out in the finals to Etowah. But tonight, Anniston, White Plains, both of them, blue bloods of Calhoun County, I think is fair to say. Absolutely. And first off, speaking of blue, let's look at the team in blue when it comes to Coach Chris Randall's White Plains Wildcats, as they come in a very solid 9-3 overall mark. Now, they lost their first game of the season to Oxford, rolled off 9 consecutive wins, but have dropped a couple in a row over the last 2 games. Yeah, the game back over the weekend, I don't remember if it was Friday or Saturday or when it was, but when they were in the Larry and Connie Davidson Invitational Classic over at Oxford, they ran up against a blunt bunch that just showed them no respect at all. Now, I understand White Plains has had some illness plague their team. We'll find out from Coach Randall here in a couple of minutes exactly what kind of shape they're in for tonight. I talked to Torrey Brown earlier today, James, and he's got a couple of guys out tonight as well. Of course, kind of the cold and flu season is really, as far as ravaged, not only the athletic teams all across the area, but really the general population this year. But when you look at the Anniston Bulldogs and Coach Torrey Brown's squad, also they're off to a solid start, a 5-2 start, and also they've gotten a couple of area wins under their belt, including their most recent game, which they defeated another longtime rival of theirs in Talladega on the road, 58-46. Yeah, Talladega's not the Talladega of old that we know, but they're still a pretty solid ball club, and anytime Dega and Anniston get together, it's a battle. And, Jim, when you look at Anniston, this is really kind of a big stretch of home games for them, as they have 3 consecutive home games. So certainly for Anniston, one of their keys, at least get this home stand off to a good start. And, of course, that means get off, when it comes to this game, to a good start in the first and second quarter. Yeah, absolutely. Well, both these teams like to get up and down the floor. Both of them are going to pressure one another. And it's really important for White Plains not to let Anniston really get going. I mean, White Plains kind of want to hang around in this thing and, see what happens in the fourth quarter. Of course, not only the football season for the Anniston Bulldogs when it comes to Jayden Lewis. So this will be his final basketball season as well in an Anniston Bulldogs uniform before he takes his talents off to the collegiate level. We'll talk more about him and the rest of the Bulldogs of Anniston and the Wildcats of White Plains after this timeout, as we get ready for tip-off, our season opener for the FNN basketball game of the week.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Step into the offices of J. Britt Middlebrook CPA, where you'll find professional one-on-one service for business and individual clients. In this ever-changing tax and economic climate, you can count on receiving the expert advice you need. J. Britt Middlebrook works hard to provide every client what they need to meet all deadlines. Tax season will be here soon. For all your accounting service needs, call or stop by at 1913 Berry Street in Oxford. That's J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA.
You understand how your business works, but you may not understand how insurance can work for your business. We have new businesses versus established in different industries. As most people know, that when you're going to an online company, you're calling a 1-800 number anytime you need anything. And if you have a local agent, then the local agent knows you and they understand the history. We can be there to help you out.
Griffin Laser Engraving in Lincoln is your authorized local dealer for personalized Yeti products. Get your Yeti customized for your team, a business, or a special event. Your color, graphics, even photos. At Griffin Laser Engraving, we make it the way you want it. Order just one or hundreds, and you'll find a full line of Yeti coolers and accessories on hand, even the hard-to-find items. Nationally recognized, but right here at home in Lincoln for quality awards, trophies, powder coating, and personalized Yeti items, Griffin Laser Engraving.
Our FNN High School basketball game of the week gets started for the 2023-2024 season this evening. In fact, in just a few minutes, as both of the teams are out for their pregame warm-ups, as White Plains makes a short trip westward from the eastern part of Calhoun County to take on Anniston. James Hardy with you, and we also will send it over to Jim Jacobs, who has, I believe, Coach Torrey Brown.
This time we're going to start with Coach Randall from White Plains. And Chris, first off, I know the health bug has bitten you guys lately. How's the team tonight?
Well, we have everybody back. We're not all full speed. Of course, they've been out for over a week. 7 guys have been out for over a week. So everybody got back to practice Sunday night. We had a pretty good practice last night. Good shoot around today during school. And not 100%, but I'm feeling it's better than anything else. Glad we got them all together.
Talk about your season so far.
Well, we lost a tough one to Oxford to begin the season with, and then we won a nice run, and we won 9 in a row. And then, of course, everybody got sick. Alexandria lost a tough one at home, and then Blunt really handed it to us over at the Coach Davidson Classic. And it was pretty much a B-team game Friday night. It was rough and made us like it. But glad to have everybody back. It's a big week for us, biggest week of the year so far. So glad to have everybody back on the same page.
I was going to say, you got this one tonight, and then, of course, Friday you got to go to Jacksonville for a big region game to play the defending state champs. What do you hope to see over the next couple of games from your kids?
Over this one, we want to get the glue back together, compete, get everybody back in their roles, fill in their same roles that we had before we started. And then, we know that talent wins at home, but you got to have some toughness on the road to win at Jacksonville and here. So it'll be a good test of our toughness to see how we respond.
Am I getting taller or are you getting shorter?
No, I don't know. I think you may be getting taller.
All right, buddy. Good
Thanks,
luck.
Jim. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim, and thank you, Coach Randall. And now we'll send it back to Jim with Coach Torrey Brown.
Host is here with us, Coach Torrey Brown, the Anniston High School Bulldogs. Coach, talk a little bit about your season so far.
Well, right now we're 5-2. It's still early in the season, but we're playing decent basketball, so we just want to come out tonight and see if we can play with a bunch of energy and feed off of the home crowd.
Coach, obviously health has hit just about every team in the area over the last month or so. How do your kids stack up in that respect?
Well, we're without one of our key players tonight, probably a kid that's been playing the best for us this year, Isaiah Allen. But we got some other guys, and they're going to step up and play tonight.
How big is it to get an early season game like this at home with White Plains, a team that you know is going to test you? You guys really get after one another anytime you meet. Doesn't matter where it is, here, there, parking lot, whatever.
Yeah, it's always great to play White Plains. Coach Randall does a great job with his guys. They're always prepared to play, and they give us a test, and you get a chance to see some things that you need to work on going forward in the season.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck. We'll talk to you at halftime.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jim, and thank you, Coach Torrey Brown, as we're just a few moments away from getting our season started when it comes to the FNN High School basketball game of the week, and really just around the corner, one of our favorite nights of the year when it comes to the FNN High School Football Award Show. That'll come right in the middle of March, and there you see as far as some of last year's participants, and of course area and really statewide legend when it comes to high school football ranks, Jack Hayes, as well as Jacob Kelly from up at Cherokee County. James Hardy and Coach.
I'm sure a lot of people are happy Jack Hayes graduated.
oh yeah, probably a lot of people. As far as that's not involved with Piedmont Bulldogs, as far as high school football around the state, who wasn't happy to see him exit the gridiron in the high school football ranks.
But that does mean we'll have a new player of the year this time for the first time in 2 years. So that's a big deal. It's coming up on March the 20th. the FNN Awards night.
Absolutely. Both teams returning to their benches as we're about ready to have the starting lineups unveiled to the fans here at Anniston High School.
Yep, the Wildcats and the Bulldogs getting ready to claw it out tonight here on the floor. Jim Jacobs, James Hardy. Want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, send us a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. Also, when we get a second here, we're going to recognize some of our sponsors tonight. Well, I don't have to. There they are on the screen. S&H Waterproofing and Construction, Bucks Island Marine, and, of course, Bama Sheds and Pole Barns already signed on to work with us this season as presenting sponsors. Perez Flooring signed on just today. So just like these teams, James, our sponsorships are a work in progress.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, really, we're just rolling out the red carpet for quite a few of them when it comes to the basketball season. We are underway. Carter Johnson, the big 6'7" forward, wins the opening toss, and we are underway. White Plains in the blue tops and bottoms as they have the basketballs. A quick three up and off the back rim, no good for Josh Wheeler as the rebound goes to Anniston, and they want to rip and run. Anniston in the white tops and bottoms as they begin a 3-game homestand, and we have at least an inadvertent whistle and play stops with, or at least there's a reason why, because the clock hasn't started. So a few clock issues right now.
I think we played at least 20 seconds, hadn't we?
Yeah, I think you're about right, 20 to 30 seconds or so.
Well, according to our clock, we played 25 seconds.
That sounds just about right.
I think we're more on top of it than they are, but here we go.
The officials getting the clock issue taken care of, and that does allow us to kind of take a look at those starting lineups for both teams. You have Dylan Barksdale along with Gregory Lobb. There you take a look at the White Lobby and the rest of the White Plains roster. Also, it is the big Carter Johnson in the center spot, the power forward spot as well in the starting lineup as Anniston has the ball, and they want to try the quick three that pops out. No good in the corner, and the loose ball rebound goes out of bounds to White Plains. That was Kyron Brown that had that early three-point shot. Also for Anniston, you have Corey Lane, Isaiah Allen, Devin Coleman, and Jaden Lewis among the starting five.
J-Money.
Coleman Ray also in the starting lineup for White Plains. As here's a good look for the 3-4 Lobby. That's up and good.
Yeah, Lobby and Wheeler are White Plains three-point assassins. What they'll try to do is get that ball inside to the big guy, and then he'll flash it back out to those two around the three-point perimeter, James.
Three-pointer no good as Josh Wheeler gets the rebound for White Plains. Lobby right in front of us. Passes off to Ray, dumps it down to Johnson, who's quickly double-teamed. That's an effective double team as that pass goes into the backcourt, so an over and back violation.
And, of course, what Anniston's going to do is when it goes inside to Johnson, they're going to double down on him and make that cross-court pass out into the shooting perimeter very difficult for him to make, just like they did there. Turnover Wildcats.
Also, one more Anniston Bulldog to mention, Delroy Francis in the starting lineup for Coach Torrey Brown's squad. Anniston with the basketball. They look to tie it up, and that's off the back rim. No good on the three try, but the Bulldogs of Anniston get the rebound as Francis goes underneath the basket and blows the layup. Good contest also by Carter Johnson as White Plains comes down with the board. Wheeler swings it over to Ray for the lefty three. That's good.
Swish.
Coleman Ray with his first triple as White Plains off to a good start on the road, up 6-0. Anniston looks to try and get on the scoreboard as they'll work it around to the top of the key. Francis.
And you won't hear us talk about zone or anything with White Plains. They're going to play you heads up man-to-man.
Good look at the three for Devin Coleman. That's no good off the side rim. Good hustle that time by Anniston to come down with the offensive rebound as Francis gets the board and then knocks it off of Carter Johnson out of bounds as Johnson will get his first breather as well as Lobby with his first breather of the night for White Plains. Silas Hines checks in for the Wildcats of White Plains as they're off to a really good start so far as Daniel Williams will check in for White Plains at the next whistle. Anniston still in search of their first points of the night. As Francis for the 3 ball, that's good. So Delroy Francis with the first Anniston points of the night, as they at least try and improve upon their 5-2 record, as we'll have a whistle and against some at least solid pressure defense, a foul on Anniston.
Yeah, the Bulldogs, though, had a good double team right here at the timeline in front of us, James. White Plains had to fight their way through it. Wound up with a foul and on the sideline out.
White Plains coming in losers of their last 2 ball games. Anniston has won 3 of their last 4, 5 of their first 7 to start the season. Zone defense and a loose ball and a turnover as Anniston gets it, and a foul in the open court on White Plains. So that's going to be the foul on Coleman Ray on the reach in. That'll be his first. And Ray will exit the ball game, and quickly back in will be big Carter Johnson, 6'7", 250 pounds.
There you see the roster for Anniston on the screen for just a moment. Bulldogs back on offense.
Half court set for the Bulldogs. A little weave action, as good defense that time by White Plains to at least deny that pass, as Anniston's trying to attack the basket. Good defense that time by Johnson to deny the shot, and an errant pass goes into the White Plains bench, out of bounds.
Anniston tried to do just a little too much on that penetration that trip.
So it'll be a turnover for Anniston as Josh Wheeler inbounds. Also into the game is Cameron Allman, the senior guard for White Plains. Anniston with some full court pressure. As White Plains does get it over, Allman floats it down to Johnson, who sticks it in for 2.
Nice little dish and go right there.
Tell you what, good pass that time by Allman to at least put it at the top part of that wingspan for Johnson, who all he had to do was just stick it in for 2. White Plains has led this entire first quarter as the 3 pops out, no good for Ja'Cory Lane. And White Plains on the move. A double team and nearly a steal for Anniston as White Plains has it. Johnson tied up in a package as that ball goes out of bounds, knocked off of Anniston. We've played 4 minutes and change here in the opening quarter from Anniston High School, as White Plains got a couple of 3 balls to begin the first quarter, and they've led by 2 possessions at least for really most of this first quarter. A very solid start for Coach Chris Randall's squad.
Yeah, on the other side, not that great a start for Anniston. Only 3 points in the first half of the first quarter of the basketball game.
High post will be Williams. Kicks it out. 3 ball up and
Got
good
it.
at the far wing for Josh Wheeler. And Coach Torrey Brown
Has seen enough.
Absolutely. He wants the timeout, and we'll take it with him. 3:39 left opening quarter, as that's White Plains 11 and Anniston 3. Our debut night for the 2023-2024 season for the FNN basketball game of the week, as White Plains on top 11-3 as we go toward 3.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. James Hardy, Jim Jacobs, and our FNN crew with you here from Anniston High School as the Anniston Bulldogs have it. They're trying to cut into an 8-point deficit, struggling early on at home. With the basketball is Coleman, as he loses it and turns it over. In the open floor, Wheeler goes in and misses the dunk
slam.
as the rebound goes to Anniston, and a foul as Jim, that was an opportunity there for Josh Wheeler to flush it home, and he just hit the back rim that time.
Yeah, just a little too excited, a little, running full speed like that, James, it's easy to do.
Yeah, you get that adrenaline up, and sometimes maybe the concentration
I've
isn't
always
just
heard if you're going to dunk it, you better dunk it, because if you don't, you're going to hear about it.
I'm sure no matter how this game ends, he will hear about it in the next film session as Francis kicks it out. Open 3-ball, no good. Off the back rim, and big Carter Johnson pulls down the board and gets fouled on the play. Takorian Downey checks in at the last timeout for Anniston as he picks up his first personal. Both teams with a couple of fouls so far in the opening quarter.
You know, this White Plains team, James, is senior laden. I mean, it's a bunch that should have a really good season.
There's a good deflection and a steal for Anniston as Johnson tried to pass it to a cutter in the paint. As Anniston still trying to cut into an 8-point deficit. Three balls and a 2-point bucket for White Plains as that's an air ball and the 3 for Downey as that ball goes out of bounds to White Plains.
Yeah, Anniston just doesn't seem to be able to get into any kind of offensive rhythm right now.
Oh, absolutely. It's just whether in the open court or in the half court. Give a lot of credit, though, to White Plains as far as just playing good, solid position defense. Here's Williams, gets his pass deflected and stolen. 3-on-3 for Anniston, as here's the floater, no good for Francis. Gets his own rebound, and he'll have a trip to the line for a couple of free throws.
You know, that is a really, really hard shot to make right there. You're going straight at the basket. It's hard to use the backboard when you're going straight at the basket, so you float that thing up there, and, James, I guarantee you 7 out of 10 times it's going to hit the back of the rim and come off.
There you see Delroy Francis, the senior forward, with his first free throw that's up and good. So he has all of Anniston's 4 points so far. As Anniston now down 7.
Francis towing the line.
One more free throw for Francis. Up and good. So Anniston at least having a solid first quarter for Delroy Francis, who has 2 free throws and a 3-point basket for all 5 of Anniston's points. Here's Williams out for the 3 up, and that's way too strong for Daniel Williams, and the rebound goes to Anniston.
All of a sudden, the lead has shrunk to 6.
Anniston goes up, looks like against the matchup zone now for Coach Chris Randall's White Plains Wildcats as top of the key. Baker in the game. Takias Baker turns back out to Francis for 3. No, as the rebound goes to Gregory Lobby. The senior guard brings it up the floor. As Barksdale, high post to Williams, picks up the dribble to Lobby, extra pass, and now to Johnson, the big forward, immediately double teamed and turns it over. Great pressure defense on the double team by Anniston as the Bulldogs bring it off to our right.
Big guys were not meant to handle the basketball.
Takias Baker in the game for Anniston as he has it. Going up against the matchup zone for White Plains. Downey over to Baker. Works off a pick, goes in, lays it up, and gets it blocked by Johnson. Under a minute to go opening quarter as down the lane goes Downey as he misses too far under the basket on the layup try. Outlet pass ahead goes out of bounds off of Anniston as Ethan Turner tried to advance it up the floor, and we'll have some substitutions for White Plains as you'll have Johnson along with Turner, 2 of the 3 subs checking out for White Plains.
This is a Chris Randall staple. You know, he's normally going to dress about 13 to 14, and just about every one of them are going to play. He's going to platoon his kids.
Daniel Williams, cross-court pass as a good pump fake. Lobby, open, 3, no good. Chips glass, rebound by White Plains as they're able to cash in on the offensive rebound and get 2 points thanks to Coleman Ray.
Good job by Ray there to get the block out under the basket. Got the Anniston defender on his hip. Quick little kiss off the glass. Couple more points for the Wildcats.
One of the best starts to the season so far for White Plains as going in will be Brown. Scoops it up, no, as the rebound goes to Wheeler. Half-court shot up and just a little bit off the mark that time. But White Plains having an outstanding opening quarter as they dominate Anniston in the first 8 minutes of play, up 13-5 as we go to the second quarter here on the FNN High School Basketball Game of the Week.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
You understand how your business works, but you may not understand how insurance can work for your business. We have new businesses versus established in different industries. As most people know, that when you're going to an online company, you're calling a 1-800 number anytime you need anything. And if you have a local agent, then the local agent knows you and they understand the history. We can be there to help you out.
First 8 minutes in the books here at Anniston High School as our FNN High School basketball game of the week brought to you by our fine partners from S&H Waterproofing and Construction, Bucks Island, as well as Bama Sheds. A big thanks for those trio of fine sponsors for joining us this evening and helping to bring the inaugural edition for this season of the FNN basketball game of the week to you wherever you're watching us from.
I mean, what a great way to start the season for us, James. I mean, this is one of these places where if the walls could talk.
Anniston with the basketball. As driving will be Jaden Lewis, kicks out for the three ball. That's too strong as the rebound goes to Gregory Lobby. White Plains has led wire to wire so far tonight, as they've had as much as the 8-point lead that they are presently enjoying. Anniston goes zone, as it'll be Wheeler dumping it down toward Williams as it gets deflected to Lobby. Gray back to Lobby as White Plains will settle things down. Daniel Williams high post.
Great fake, great ball fake.
Pushes it up, no good. And the rebound goes to Decorian Downey for Anniston. Dribble for Jaden Lewis as he'll back things out. Man-to-man D for White Plains as an offensive foul will go on Jaden Lewis. So there you see one of our trio of officials indicating that offensive foul on the chicken wing by Jaden Lewis. So White Plains with the basketball as they're in their blue tops and bottoms for their short road trip this evening as Williams in the paint kicks out to Ray. Lefty three is no good. Rebound, however, to Daniel Williams. And the paint kicks back out to Ray. Second try at the three. That's also no good. As the rebound initially to White Plains is now Anniston on the run as there's the layup up. And that's going to be some basket interference if it's a blocking foul. It is a blocking foul, so that should be an and one opportunity on the way for Anniston. No, they'll wipe off the basket.
So they called a foul, a blocking foul, I guess.
That's indeed correct, a blocking foul. And that will go on Coleman Ray. And at least according to my count, that would be his second personal foul. Free throw up, and that's off the back rim. No good for Devin Coleman. And by the way, Jonathan McKinney, Daniel Holmes, and Michael Morris are our trio of officials tonight. Second free throw, that is up and good. So Devin Coleman with his first point of the night. A little bit of full court pressure for Anniston defensively as Lobby gets across the timeline. Goes toward the paint, jump stops, and turns it over. Steal by Coleman as he'll bounce it over to Lewis. Drives baseline. As driving now Coleman from the top of the key as he misses the teardropper, but there's the putback, good for two for Anniston, and Chris Randall for White Plains wants the timeout.
Yeah, didn't like what he saw on that last possession. I think he thought Lobby maybe a little too much down in the paint.
We'll go ahead and take the timeout with them. 5:58 until halftime, and it's now White Plains 13 and Anniston 8.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
From Anniston High School, White Plains has led ever since the start of this ball game, but Anniston trying to claw their way back in as we are under the 6-minute mark until halftime. It's White Plains still on top by a couple of possessions, now up 13-8. James Hardy, Jim Jacobs, and our FNN crew with you from Anniston High School. A couple of area rivals going at it here in early December.
Hey, can I mention real quick how happy our camera operators are? They're inside tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I tell you what, when you walk outside and notice how cold it is, as there's the in-close shot, no good for Carter Johnson, as the loose ball foul will go, we'll see who they call it on. It'll be on Anniston. Yeah, I tell you what, when you're outside, at least today with at least coming into this gym this evening, temperatures below 40 degrees, yeah, especially if you're any one of us, you're definitely happy you're inside tonight.
Yep. And we're happy to be here courtside. Want to mention that when you see a game on FNN, we're there. We're there bringing it to you live. James could get hit with a ball before tonight's over.
We'll find out. Here's still plenty of time for that, as an in-close shot up and good as Cameron Allman gets the entry pass and shoots from about 6 feet or so off the glass.
Last 2 offensive trips for White Plains, James. Coach Randall wanted the ball inside, and he got exactly what he wanted.
Allman's first point says here's the 3-ball, too strong, no good off the back rim. As that was Ja'Cory Lane missing the 3 as White Plains on the run. Ray, a little out of control as he loses it and turns it over. And we'll have a timeout called for, a 30-second timeout for Torrey Brown.
Let me mention a couple of folks that have come on board for tonight's game to help us out just a little bit on the sponsorship side. Our good friend Chris Reynolds at Dorman and Reynolds Insurance helping us out with the game tonight. And, of course, Commissioner Fred Wilson, the Calhoun County Commission, always supporting the kids and the high school athletics here in the area. Of course, Anniston High School in Mr. Wilson's district. So he stepped up tonight and helped us out big time with the game. So we appreciate that very much. And, of course, you see there on your screen, S&H Waterproofing and Construction, Bucks Island, and Bama Sheds and Pole Barns, the home of the ball toss. We don't have any balls to throw tonight, hopefully, but there you see it, 15-8, White Plains on top out of the timeout.
Yeah, I tell you, you mentioned it earlier. In fact, if there's a Bama Sheds ball toss, we may be getting that tonight. 5 minutes to go until halftime as Anniston has the basketball, still trying to get into double figures tonight. As right now, Francis has 7 of the 10 as there's a 3-ball no good as Anniston gets the rebound, but the ball goes out of bounds.
It just looks like to me at this point in the game, James, Anniston is just struggling to find offensive rhythm. They're just not really in the groove. You watch them versus the way White Plains is moving the ball on the offensive end for the Wildcats. White Plains in a much better situation. And here's what Coach Brown is doing to kind of thwart that just a little bit. He's going to full court pressure, and there's a turnover.
The steal by Devin Coleman as Anniston has it. 3-ball up and off the back rim, no good. As Francis with the rebound, put back no good. Loose ball goes to White Plains.
And see, there's a steal by Anniston. White Plains had it on the run out, come from behind and picked it right out of his pocket.
Corey and Downey got the loose ball deflection that time for Anniston as the Bulldogs set it up in the half court. Downey over to Coleman. Nearly lost it trying to go behind the back as Downey now on the drive, knifes his way through the lane and gets the layup to fall.
Big trip that time for Anniston. They really needed something good to happen. They're going to stay with this pressure.
There's the second look at Corey and Downey's move down the lane as he's able to get the first field goal not from Delroy Francis tonight for Anniston. So the lead now down to 5 for White Plains as they nearly turn it over. High post goes Allman into the lane, kicks it out. That's good, solid zone defense by Anniston as Ray tries the 3 and sinks it.
Got it.
Coleman Ray with his second triple. He has 8, as there you see that smooth lefty stroke from Coleman Ray, the senior guard.
James hitting that about 5 threes for them.
Here's the drive on the way, and a blocking foul first off as Jaden Lewis on his way to the lane. And you look at White Plains as they have a 3 from Josh Wheeler, as well as Lobby with a 3, close to 5. So I have them at 4 triples so far in the first half.
And I think Anniston has 1.
That's right. And so far that's, scoring-wise, basically your difference in an 8-point lead for White Plains. However, coming to the free throw line will be Kyron Brown, the senior guard, as his first free throw is up and good, so he's on the board with his first point of the night. And there you see his profile, the 5'11", 165-pound senior, trying to cut into what's now a 7-point deficit, and does so as he sinks 2 of 2 from the line. So Anniston's gotten a few free throw attempts from the line as they are now 5 of 6 from the charity stripe.
James, the pressure from Anniston does a couple of different things, and we'll try to talk about it here when we get a chance. Right now, White Plains trying to get it across.
Back into the ball game is Ethan Turner for White Plains. As they get it across the timeline, Williams leaves it off for Ullman, who blows the little chippy. Good defense as well from Anniston as the ball goes out of bounds off of White Plains.
See, it does 2 things. A, it gets you that pressure, but B, it gets you out of your rhythm. It breaks up that rhythm White Plains has had so far. I like the move by Torrey Brown.
Kyrie Lewis into the game for Anniston. As the dump down goes to Francis, gets bumped, no whistle. A loose ball, and White Plains has it, and now a whistle and a foul on the open floor on Anniston. A good, strong defense at the low block for White Plains to deny Delroy Francis a decent look at a turnaround, as White Plains will get the basketball after what is the 3rd team foul of this quarter for Anniston. And by the way, some adjustments as far as the officiating rules, the basketball rules for the state of Alabama this year. During each quarter, 5 team fouls will trigger a 2-shot free throw situation for the opposing team.
Gone is the 1-and-1, right?
That is exactly correct.
I don't know if I like that or not.
That's basically, if you're familiar with the college game as far as women's basketball, it's basically the college women's basketball rule now. So at the 5th foul of each quarter, it'll trigger 2 free throws for the other team. So White Plains with the ball as they'll dump it into Johnson, who lays it in for 2. If you can't get that double team there in time on Carter Johnson, he's that far underneath the basket, then there's really no stopping him.
I think he's got 5 inches on anybody that's on the floor for Anniston. So, you know, they've got to get a double on him. They got to front him and get behind him as well and keep him from getting that pass down in the paint, because that's just easy money.
Kyrie Lewis with the quick trigger. That's off the back rim, no good. As Johnson underneath the basket puts it in, and the foul. Back-to-back field goals for Johnson as he has 6, and now White Plains up by their biggest margin of the night, up 10 with 1:53 to go until halftime.
Yeah, and Johnson, you know, at 6'7", he's not a lanky 6'7", James. He got some beef on him.
I was about to say, you take a look even at just his arms, and yeah, he's got a little meat on there. It actually looks in pretty decent basketball shape. So Johnson goes to the line. 3-point play opportunity, a little strong that time, but we'll have a whistle and looks like a rebounding foul on White Plains. Or check that. It'll be a lane violation, so Johnson will have a second crack at an old-fashioned 3-point play.
Yeah, it'll had to be a lane violation on the Bulldogs.
Indeed. So Anniston with the miscue that time. Free throw up and good.
Nice stroke for a big guy.
So Carter Johnson up to 7, right behind Coleman Ray, who has the team high and almost game high lead. Actually does have the game high lead with 8, does Coleman Ray.
Also back to a double-digit lead for White Plains.
Francis misses the 3. Rebound goes to Anniston on the offensive rebound. Devin Coleman backs it out as Francis thought about the 3. He wants to put it on the floor, loses it, gets stripped that time by Ethan Turner out of bounds.
high school ranks.
Dylan Goodson into the game as he drove and got fouled, but misses the first of 2 free throws. So you'll have Allman as well as Josh Wheeler into the game for White Plains. Second free throw up and good for Goodson as he has his first point of the night. Full court pressure for Anniston.
Boy, the Bulldogs could use a couple of turnovers and some baskets here.
In fact, right on cue that time, Jim, a turnover for Anniston as they want to push the tempo. Here's the drive, an open drive, and a good block that time by Carter Johnson as he swatted away Kyrie Lewis's layup attempt.
Yeah, put the big guy back in the paint and let him eat.
Here's White Plains as that pass way too tall for Johnson, out of bounds. Kind of hard for Ethan Turner or anyone for White Plains when you got a 6'7" target plus the wingspan, as that was even too tall for the big man. But yeah, when you got, as far as for White Plains, Carter Johnson, not only offensively, but probably his biggest contributions defensively, as we just saw right around that basket to provide some rim protection for White Plains defensively.
Looks like Anniston's playing for one here. Oh,
that was a bad pass, a lazy pass that time that Dylan Barksdale knocked away. Could have stolen. Of course, Dylan Barksdale, the quarterback on the varsity football team for White Plains, who nearly made a 4A playoff appearance this season.
Had a heck of a senior year.
22 seconds to go. Baker kicks out. Here's the drive, and good contest by Johnson, but an even better finish that time by Ja'Cory Lane. Lane, his first points. White Plains up 8 as here's a steal and a 2-on-1 as Baker leaves it off for Lane for the layup.
Oh, that was
2 field goal spurt. Puts Anniston now down 6 as they were down as much as 12 here in the second quarter. So at halftime here at Anniston High School, it's White Plains 23 and Anniston 17. Our first edition of the season for the FNN High School Basketball Game of the Week returns after this.
And Rim Shop. There's not enough time in this ad to tell you all the many things they can do to help keep your car in tip-top shape. Advantage Tire uses ASE certified technicians, so you know any work done is top-notch. Bottom line, if it needs repaired or replaced, they can probably do the job and save you money. And when it comes time for new or used tires and rims, Advantage Tire and Alignment prices just can't be beat. Stop in and see Bruce and the crew today. Advantage Tire and Alignment. Step into the offices of J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA, where you'll find professional one-on-one service for business and individual clients. In this ever-changing tax and economic climate, you can count on receiving the expert advice you need. J. Britt Middlebrook works hard to provide every needs. Call or stop by at 1913 Berry Street in Oxford. That's J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
You understand how your business works, but you may not understand how insurance can work for your business. We have new businesses versus established in different industries. As most people know, that when you're going to an online company, you're calling a 1-800 number anytime you need anything. And if you have a local agent, then the local agent knows you and they understand the history. We can be there to help you out.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting...
This evening for our first edition of the FNN High School basketball game of the week for the 2023-2024 season. White Plains leads Anniston 23-17, a first half, Jim, that saw White Plains lead wire to wire.
Yeah, and you kind of feel like the lead ought to be a little bigger. Good push by Anniston there in the last 30 seconds of the quarter. James kind of drew it back within manageable range, if you will. Down to 6 points from a 10-point advantage. It went from double digits to 2 possessions for Anniston against White Plains, and they did it with pressure. They did it with transition off the pressure, turned them over a couple of times, got a couple of easy looks. Anniston's having a really hard time getting shots off tonight that are working for them.
Well, you look at what White Plains has been able to do. Really, they had some key three-pointers in the first quarter, especially from Coleman Ray, who has a game-high 8 points, along with a couple of the 4 three-point baskets so far this evening for the White Plains Wildcats. But you mentioned Anniston. They've trailed by as much as 12 in that second quarter, but the pressure defense starting to at least get them a little bit of rhythm as far as just playing the type of game they want to play, an open floor type of game, as they've cut this lead down to 6.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about where we're headed over the next couple of weeks, because we have one tomorrow night that we are really looking forward to, folks. We are going to the Garden, GGG, baby. Go Garden, go, and it's going to be the Hanley Lady Tigers against the Spring Garden Lady Panthers and Miss All Everything Ace Austin.
Absolutely. In fact, Ace Austin, obviously, kind of almost for just this area, like Jack Hayes was on the football field in recent years for the high school football scene. Of course, Ace Austin still has one more year to play before she goes off to play college ball.
Thanks to Coach Ricky Austin and Coach Courtney Strain Screws for agreeing to do this the way we asked them to do it. They're actually flipping the games tomorrow night. The girls are doing the nightcap. They get prime time tomorrow night at the Garden, and we're going to be there to bring it to you live from Spring Garden. That is tomorrow night. Look for us to be on the air somewhere right around 7 o'clock from Spring Garden. And then next Monday night, we're headed up to Jacksonville for a really big matchup. But that game may have a lot to do with county tournament seeding, James. So that's a big one. Then we've got girls action the following Friday on the 22nd, right before Christmas. Hope all your presents are wrapped as we get set for Southside and Cherokee County up at Southside. Will be our first visit to that.
Well, as Jacksonville in Spring Garden, a lot of the teams that we'll be covering should be able to have opportunities for big postseason runs in a couple of months. We'll take this time out, and we'll get ready for the second half between White Plains and Anniston after this timeout.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Step into the offices of J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA, where you'll find professional one-on-one service for business and individual clients. In this ever-changing tax and economic climate, you can count on receiving the expert advice you need. J. Britt Middlebrook works hard to provide every client what they need to meet all deadlines. Tax season will be here soon. For all your accounting service needs, call or stop by at 1913 Berry Street in Oxford. That's J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA.
I'll let him know. A couple minutes away from getting the second half started here at Anniston High School, as White Plains has led wire to wire throughout the first half, up 23-17, and we'll send it over to Jim Jacobs with Anniston head coach Tori Brown.
Offensively at the start of the basketball game, but jumping in that press seemed to help a little.
Well, they pack it in really good, force us to make shots. And, you know, basketball is a make-or-miss game, and unfortunately for us, we didn't make any shots the first half. But we got some good looks. We just got to knock them down second half.
So what was your message to your kids during the break?
Well, just continue with it. You know, defensively, we're fine. We didn't give up 23 points. You know, I thought they came out, they hit us with a flurry, hit a few shots against our trap. then we adjusted, and then went 2-3 zone and kind of slowed them down a little bit. They stayed stuck on 13 for a while, and then they were able to get it to the big guy against our 2-3 zone on the block, so we got to adjust at that. But just stay at it. We're fine. We're fine.
Get Coach Chris Randall here in just a moment for White Plains, as White Plains led by a game-high 8 points for Cole.
Too many turnovers. We got to have some more poise. We're still, even this late in the year, we're still trying to find our way at the point guard spot. We're playing 2 or 3 different people there, and just too many live ball turnovers. We throw it out of bounds. It's okay. Stop that clock. We get a chance to guard them, but just way too many turnovers. And I bet we've had more turnovers than shot attempts in the first half.
Coach, it looked like when they went to the press there at the end of the second quarter, that did kind of change the momentum just a little bit.
Yeah, we had, Josh picked up his second foul, and he's our best ball handler, so we had him out of the game. We had to get him back, and, he did do a good job of playing without fouling, so hopefully we can get it going early in the third.
You like working that big guy down in the post, though, don't you?
Yeah, we're trying to feed Carter as much as we can, that's for sure.
Let him eat.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, Coach Chris Randall and Jim Jacobs, as we'll take a look at our unofficial first half totals, as Coleman Ray had 8 to lead all scores for White Plains. Carter Johnson not far behind with 7, and 3 apiece for Gregory Lobby and Josh Wheeler, as well as a couple from Cameron Allman. And for Anniston, they were led by Delroy Francis with 7, 4 from Ja'Cory Lane, as well as a couple each from Kyron Brown and Takorian Downey, and a free throw for Devin Coleman, as White Plains controls the ball to begin the third quarter.
Well, there you heard the kind of the lay of the land from both coaches, James. Let's see how the first couple of minutes start out for both teams.
A steal and an open floor look as the layup good for Devin Coleman.
Yeah, Anniston wants to pressure. They want to trap. They want to make things happen with the press.
So there you see Torrey Brown across the way screaming instructions for his team, as now Anniston down by 4 as they were down as much as 12 here in the third quarter. As Ray dribbles on the floor. High post will be Barksdale. Kicks it back out to Ray. For Anniston, Barksdale banks it off the glass from about 10 feet away. Dylan Barksdale on the scoreboard, his first field goal, as the lead back out to 6 for White Plains. Jaden Lewis with the ball, as we'll have a whistle and a foul as Ja'Cory Lane tried to go baseline, but a reach-in foul for White Plains. So that'll be the first team foul for either team, as Lobby will check out of the ball game. So Chris Randall sending in a fresh substitution for White Plains in their blue tops and bottoms. A quick double team. So Anniston was down 8 points at the end of the first, cut the lead to 1 possession for White Plains. Lane works off of the screen. Here's the 3 ball up. Plains with the basketball is Ray. I'll dribble it back to Wheeler. Across the timeline, Barksdale as Wheeler for the NBA. Daniel Williams checked in at the last timeout for White Plains, as Ray will 2-3 zone defense as Ray misses the 3 ball, and the rebound goes to Anniston. Kyron Brown on the board, but the ball poked away by White Plains, and coming up with it, Josh Wheeler on the loose ball. Ray, entry pass goes to Johnson. He goes in, pump fakes, and doesn't get the roll on the bank shot. First half for Carter Johnson, the senior, as he had 7 first half points. Free throw up and off the front rim, centers and goes. So he's up to 8. Here you see Carter Johnson with that big 6'7" frame, and really with his wingspan plays closer to 6'10" or even 6'11". Free throw. Playing like one on both ends of the floor tonight as Jaden Lewis misses the floater, and the rebound goes to Coleman Ray as he was tripped in the open floor by Devin Coleman. And Coleman Ray a bit banged up for White Plains as he tried to advance up the floor and took a hard fall on the floor. As Coach Chris Randall comes out, and Coleman Ray in quite a bit of attention. as Josh Wheeler as well as Carter for White Plains, and also checking in Silas Hines.
Let me tell you, that floor is hard.
Across the timeline goes Hines.
Picked up his dribble.
Needs a little bit of help and finds his big man Johnson. Back to Hines. Goes up against that matchup zone defense.
And Anniston's really pushing it out now as well.
We go under the 5-minute mark here in the third quarter, as it'll be the cutting Allman losing it out of bounds and the turnover for White Plains.
Well, he was trying to get it to Johnson, but you can't give it to a guy that big at his knees.
Anniston with the basketball, down 7. Been a low-scoring game so far as the 3-ball up and no good for Anniston as the rebound goes off of the Bulldogs out of bounds to White Plains. Jaden Lewis tried to get that rebound, but it goes off of his hands as the inbounds against full court pressure for White Plains. Wheeler finds Hines, met by a double team as he picks up his dribble again and does find Williams for 3. No. That's the rebound to Johnson, who sticks it in for 2.
Boy, you just can't put enough on Johnson as to what he means to this basketball team right now.
Torrey Brown calls a 30-second timeout as Carter Johnson making his presence felt with a game-high 10 points as 28-19. So this is
1-800 number anytime you need any.
Four minutes, 13 seconds remain in the third. 9-point lead, getting it done with the defense tonight. As Jacob as Francis tries to bull his way through almost the entire. And it looked as if that 3 White Plains defenders converged on Francis when he tried to drive in the paint. Inbounds pass and an open look for 3. That's good, and a big 3 for Ja'Cory Lane for Anniston.
Yeah, boy, if Anniston gets that 3-ball going now, James, we're going to have a different basketball game.
Court pressure, Barksdale back in, double team. Able to find Wheeler. Barksdale with that yo-yo dribble over to Wheeler. High post will go to Allman as he will lose it, but off to go in the third quarter. Anniston has been on the short end of the score so far throughout the night, thanks to very solid position defense by White Plains. And solid offensive performance by Coleman Ray with 8. The ball and sticks it in for 2. Johnson with a dozen, half of those, almost half of those at least, here in the third quarter. White Plains up 8 as Francis misses the 3, and the rebound goes to Daniel Williams for White Plains. Wheeler, high post to Allman, extra pass to Williams. Williams back to Allman in the paint. Wheeler bounces high post to Allman, out to Williams. Good patience by White Plains as Wheeler doesn't try the 3 as Allman goes in, kicks out to Williams for 3. Yes.
Got it.
Excellent offensive possession that time by White Plains as they just took their time against the zone, let at least the ball reverse, and they found an open look for the 3 that time as Anniston now down by 11. The Anniston Bulldogs with the basketball. Ja'Cory Lane between the circles, now to Takias Baker as he pulls up from 17 and scores. That's probably one of the best sets we've seen from Anniston all night long as they were able to get Baker and
double dribble.
There you go, off the pressure. So after the made basket, Anniston able to force the turnover as Allman about 2.5 minutes ago. As here's the 3-ball, way too strong for Kyrie Lewis. Ray in the open floor, passes Wheeler. 3-ball, yes.
Yes. Boy, I'm telling you, Josh Wheeler is an assassin from the 3-point line.
That's his second 3-ball. He has 6, and now the largest lead, or at least tied for the largest lead of the night. Final minute of the third quarter. Baker goes in, jump stops against 3 defenders, and let's see, they say as far as the official at the far side when it came to the indication. And what Dakias Baker swishes the first to two. Anniston solid from the free throw line tonight. Been around about that 75% mark from the free throw line tonight. Kyron Brown has made both of his free throws. Delroy Francis, 2 of 2 from the line as well. Dakias Baker now, and the lead down to 10 for White Plains. Ray against full court pressure. Bounces in the backcourt to Wheeler. And back in will be Gregory Lawby. Lawby, not a lot of playing time tonight for White Plains. As Johnson backing his way into Lawby for three. No, off the side rim, and the rebound for Anniston. So the Bulldogs want to cut the lead into single digits as the three for Jayden Lewis is short. No good, and Josh Wheeler with the rebound.
Yeah, look for White Plains to play for one here.
They can extend this lead back up to 12 or 13 with a three as Wheeler hounded by Dakias Baker at the half-court line. Wheeler will bounce it at 11. Man-to-man defense for Anniston. Clock down to 6. Wheeler on the drive, goes in, lays it up, and gets it blocked by Delroy Francis out of bounds with 2.3 seconds to go.
Plenty of time to get a shot off here.
So Lawby will trigger the inbounds pass, but not before two substitutions come in for Anniston. So it'll be Takorian Downey. And I believe Lane back in for Anniston. Williams inbounds as Johnson over to Ray for the three ball. Got it at the buzzer to end the third quarter.
Good night, Nurse.
So Coleman Ray with his first bucket of the second half. He's at 11, and the lead balloons to 13 for White Plains as they take a 13-point lead on the road into the fourth quarter. The final 8 minutes of the fourth quarter coming up here on the FNN High School Basketball Game of the Week.
Griffin Laser Engraving in Lincoln is your authorized local dealer for personalized Yeti products. Get your Yeti customized for your team, a business, or a special event. Your color, graphics, even photos at Griffin Laser. The hard-to-find items, nationally recognized, but right here at home in Lincoln for quality awards, trophies, powder coating, and personalized Yeti items. Griffin Laser Engraving.
It rolls on here at Anniston High School as White Plains has led the entire night on the road against Anniston. James Hardy, Jim Jacobs here with you on the FNN High School Basketball Game of the Week as Ray coming off of that buzzer-beating three to end the third quarter with the basketball. Ray against some tight man-to-man defense, able to find Josh Wheeler. Ray over to Lawby. 7.5 minutes to go in the game. They're looking for Carter Johnson down low.
Guarantee you they'll get a hand up in Ray's face.
There's Johnson over to Lawby. Back to Ray's extra pass to Wheeler. White Plains playing a very good game plan for them tonight going up against an athletic Anniston Bulldog squad.
Yeah, you're at the point now if you're White Plains, you just try to work for good shots every trip. Don't get in a hurry because the clock's on your side.
Here's Ray on the drive, picks up that dribble to Wheeler. As White Plains has had this ball for the first minute and change of the fourth quarter. Loose ball and a turnover. On the fast break, Coleman goes in and lays it in, and he'll have a chance for the and one.
Absolutely worst possession that could happen for White Plains that trip, other than the amount of time they ate off the clock.
Well, they ate up almost a minute and 10 seconds to begin the fourth quarter, but they turn it over, and Devin Coleman will go to the line for a chance at the three-point play. So Coleman up to 7 points. And now make it 8 as he sinks the free throw. So it was 39-26 at the end of the third quarter as White Plains has it on the break as Barksdale loses it out of bounds. Anniston stepping up their pressure that time as they forced an errant pass underneath the basket as Barksdale not able to hold on to it. And so Anniston down 10 has a chance to cut their deficit down to single digits. Jaden Lewis on drive goes up against Coleman Ray, nearly throws it away. Here's the three, up and good for Ja'Cory Lane.
That's huge. Lead is 7.
Lane in double figures with 10 as they throw it away to White Plains. Devin Coleman knocks it away as Lane goes in, lays it up, and misses as the rebound to Carter Johnson. Turnovers an issue for White Plains tonight. Their biggest issue of the evening as a double team across the timeline for Barksdale as Johnson also met with a double team, and it'll stay with White Plains as the ball goes off of Anniston out of bounds. So we'll have a whistle and a timeout. Looks as if Coach Chris Randall for White Plains wants to settle his team down, and it's going to be a full timeout, and we'll take it with him here on the FNN High School Basketball Game of the Week.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know. Hey.
5 minutes, 46 seconds remain in regulation as White Plains has led this entire ball game, but Anniston not out of this yet as they're down 7, 39-32. James Hardy, Jim Jacobs, and our FNN crew with you here at Anniston High School in the heart of Calhoun County to begin our basketball coverage for the 2023-2024 season. White Plains looking to end a 2-game losing streak as they come week. A 62-58 loss. It was an 84-46 loss to Blount High School out of Mobile. As on the drive, Wheeler gets his shot blocked as the rebound goes to Anniston as they want to run. Lewis swings over for the open three, look and good at the near wing for Kyron Brown.
Boy, Brown just a little bit of a weird release, James, but nice and soft.
Full court pressure for Anniston. As Barksdale across the timeline, he loses it and turns it over. 4-on-2 for Anniston as Brown gets it blocked, and the putback no, however, for Coleman as Johnson there for the rebound for White Plains. That was a golden opportunity for Anniston to cut that lead to one possession.
Absolutely.
As White Plains has it. Still plenty of time, however, as White Plains tries to settle down in the half court. Williams into the ball game.
Oh,
Daniel Williams, that is, as Coleman Ray wisely calls for it and gets a timeout.
Yeah, his feet slid out from under him, James, and had to use the timeout to save the possession.
Yeah, Coach Chris Randall not exactly thrilled with his team right now as he calls the timeout, and we'll take the timeout with them here on the FNN High School Basketball Game of the Week.
You understand how your business works, but you may not understand how insurance can work for your business. We have new businesses versus establishing. And if you have a local agent, then the local agent knows you.
Left out on fire here in the fourth quarter as they've cut what was a 13-point lead after 3 quarters of play down to 4, 39-35. And you look at what Anniston has done in the second half. Ja'Cory Lane getting the hot hand offensively as he leads Anniston in scoring with 10. Coleman Ray with 11, and Carter Johnson leads all scorers for White Plains with 12.
And don't forget now, tomorrow night we're on the road again up to Spring Garden. Girls action, 7 o'clock, Hanley, the Lady Tigers, and Ace Austin and those Spring Garden Lady Panthers.
Both teams making deep runs in the postseason in 1A and 4A respectively last season. Johnson down low, turns, goes in, and he'll have a trip to the free throw line for a couple of free throws.
Boy, you just kind of saw that coming after that timeout. Chris Randall wanting to get the ball to the big guy down in the post and let him go to work.
I'll tell you what, Johnson showing some good footwork that time as he got that ball and knew exactly what to do with it. So Johnson so far 2 of 3 from the free throw line tonight. First to 2. Pops out, no good. Carter Johnson with a dozen. Trying to make this a 5-point advantage for White Plains. Shot up, and that's good. So Johnson with a baker's dozen, as we'll have a substitution. And indeed, we will have a substitution for Anniston. Looks as if Kyron Brown checks back in for Anniston. As Lane has it, as they'll run a little bit of weave action. Jaden Lewis right in front of us. Works off the screen. He goes in, kicks out, and throws it away. Pass intended for Kyron Brown as that goes into the corner and out of bounds.
I don't think he was looking for it, James.
Full court pressure for Anniston.
Got to get it in.
Daniel Williams, tough time, and a 5-second violation. Just nobody open that time. As a turnover for White Plains. Still plenty of time left in regulation with 4:03 to go and just a 2-possession lead for White Plains. A near travel that time right in front of us for Devin Coleman as play continues. Plains. Wheeler with good box out position. Barksdale on the dribble. Tight defense for Anniston. As Wheeler hands off to Ray.
There's a foul. He pushed him. Little hand check.
Yeah, 3:31 to go. So that's just the second team foul of this fourth quarter, and the foul on Kyron Brown as Torrey Brown will call a timeout. Looks as if it'll be a full timeout, and we will take the timeout with him here on the FNN High School Basketball Game of the Week.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
The FNN High School Basketball Game of the Week rolls on here in the fourth quarter. Brought to you by S&H Waterproofing and Construction, Bucks Island, as well as Bama Sheds. As White Plains has led wire to wire tonight, as much as 13 at the end of the third quarter, but Anniston has cut the lead down to 5, as there's still plenty of time remaining in this fourth quarter with just 3:31 to go.
Yeah, during the break, James looked over at me and said, Anniston still got a shot. And I said, yes, sir. This one's a long way from over.
And for White Plains, they have to still be feeling a little uneasy right now, as Anniston has turned up the pressure defensively. Wabi back in at the timeout. Here's Johnson on the entry pass. He's immediately double-teamed. Wabi with control at the timeline. Sees a triple team. Ray down to Johnson. Double-teamed and throws it away. Up ahead, here's Lane. Lays it up. No, as the rebound goes to Ray.
Goodness gracious. You got to make those shots.
Here's Johnson bumped and makes the basket, and we'll have a three-point play opportunity.
Inside 3 minutes to play now, James.
That was a big sequence of events, could turn into possibly a 5-point swing in favor of White Plains, as Anniston missed a layup on the fast break, also a follow-up try, and then on the other end, Carter Johnson able to cash in underneath the basket as he'll have a chance to extend this lead up to 8.
I love the way Anniston is attacking the basketball on defense. A lot of times the guy dribbling's got 2 or 3 guys around him at all times.
Free throw, however, no good as the rebound goes to Anniston. Lewis on the drive, kicks out for the 3 for Coleman. That's good.
Torrey Brown told me after the half, James, we have to make shots. Well, they just made one.
Devin Coleman with the triple as the lead down to 4 for White Plains. And we'll have a whistle and a timeout for Coach Chris Randall for White Plains.
Anniston crowd coming to life here behind us.
For really the first time this evening, as this will be a 30-second timeout. And we'll keep it here as we look at some of the individual scoring totals. Carter Johnson with a game-high 15 points. Also, Devin Coleman now up to 8 points for the Anniston Bulldogs. Ja'Cory Lane with 10. Delroy Francis with 7, all of his coming in the opening half. And Coleman Ray with 11, 8 of those in the first half. So 2:35 to go in the ball game as White Plains still clinging to a 4-point lead. They had as much as a 13-point lead coming in to this fourth quarter, a 39-26 lead through 3.
I tell you, if Anniston can get this thing down to even or within a possession or so, this place is going.
Now a 42-38 lead as White Plains has possession. Malby flags it down. Wheeler over to Ray, down low to Johnson. Pump fakes and puts it in for 2.
That is textbook Chris Randall offense right there. Swing it around the perimeter. Let the big guy post up and give him the meat.
Great body control by Carter Johnson. As the other way, a loose ball as the pull-up jumper good for Kyrie Lewis.
4-point ball game just went under 2 minutes.
Or beg your pardon, Dylan Goodson rather with his first field goal. Has 3. Has the lead back down to 4 and will have a foul right at half court for Anniston. 1:47 to go. 5 team fouls will trigger the free throw situation as the next team foul for Anniston will put White Plains at the free throw line.
And before this is over, somebody's going to have to make some free throws.
Just 1 team foul for the White Plains Wildcats as we'll have some substitutions check in, and also Tacorian Downey for Anniston will make his way back to the bench. Barksdale inbounds. Gets it into Josh Wheeler. Wheeler hounded by Devin Coleman. Wheeler able to find Barksdale. 95 seconds to go as a near steal for Anniston as Ray gets fouled and really kind of gets bailed out that time by Anniston.
44-40. 1:31 left on the clock.
So a couple of free throws coming up. At least for the first season for the AHSAA after 5 team fouls. That'll send the opposing team to the free throw line for 2 as rimming out that first free throw is Coleman Ray.
See, that's why I don't like the new rule.
I'm sure Torrey Brown probably feels that way right now. But that'll allow Cameron Allman to check out. Back in will be Daniel Williams for White Plains as Ray makes 1 of 2. Coleman Ray with a dozen. As the ball goes out of bounds off of White Plains, so Anniston will inbound over at the baseline.
We've had a good one tonight, partner.
Oh, it's been a very interesting ball game. White Plains has led all throughout, but Anniston not going away. Jaden Lewis gets cut off at the baseline. 1:20 to go. As Francis thought about the 3, he runs right into Coleman Ray, who draws the offensive foul.
Yeah, that's another White Plains staple right there as well. Stand under the basket and take the charge.
Yeah, Francis came right down the baseline like a runaway freight train that time, as we'll have a timeout on the floor. So it'll be a full timeout for Anniston, and we'll take the timeout with them here on the FNN High School Basketball Game of the Week.
Advantage Tire and Alignment on Highway 202 in Anniston is so much more than just a new tire and rim shop. There's not enough time in this ad to tell you all the many things they can do to help keep your car in tip-top shape. Advantage Tire uses ASE certified technicians, so you know any work done is top-notch. Bottom line, if it needs repaired or replaced, they can probably do the job and save you money. And when it comes time for new or used tires and rims, Advantage Tire and Alignment prices just can't be beat. Stop in and see Bruce and the crew today. Advantage Tire and Alignment.
White Plains 45 and Anniston 40 with 1:14 to go in regulation from Anniston High School on the FNN High School basketball game of the week. James Hardy, Jim Jacobs with you. Our first of two on our opening week of as far as our basketball coverage for the season. Will be up at Spring Garden tomorrow for the ladies between Spring Garden and Handley. Will be game time around 7 o'clock or so as the ladies for Spring Garden and Handley will be the final game of the night tomorrow. Anniston tries to apply some pressure, and a foul almost right in front of us as you had both Coleman and Brown right in front of our location, and I think they'll call the foul on Kyron Brown. So it'll send Josh Wheeler to the free throw line. First trip to the charity stripe tonight as he misses the first of two. And as Jim mentioned earlier tonight, a very experienced White Plains squad full of seniors and juniors as the free throw good for Wheeler, who has 7. So Wheeler 1 of 2 from the free throw line as Jaden Lewis loses it but goes off of White Plains out of bounds. Good defense that time by Josh Wheeler to tap the ball away. Francis receives the inbounds pass. Over to Lewis as we're at 50 seconds and now under 50 seconds to go on the drive. Here's the floater for Lane, no. And we'll have a foul underneath the basket, and a foul goes, I believe, on Carter Johnson indeed for White Plains.
Boy, these are all so big at this point. 45 and a half seconds left.
And an opportunity for Anniston to score with the clock stopped.
Yep, and they're going to have to create some turnovers.
There's Ja'Cory Lane, the senior, needing to come through here as he makes the first of two. Ja'Cory Lane with a team-high 11. A made free throw would cut the lead down to 4 for White Plains. Free throw up and good.
Got it.
2 big free throws for Ja'Cory Lane as it'll be number 11, Corian Downey back in for Anniston. Out, Delroy Francis. Inbounds pass goes to Wheeler, back to Barksdale. 40 seconds to go. Wheeler in the backcourt, trying to get fouled. And 10 seconds as Chris Randall irate at his team, as I think they may have actually gotten a timeout before the 10-second violation.
Yep, and that's going to be I thought that was their last one.
Well, Anniston is indeed out of timeouts. And it looks as if just one timeout remaining for White Plains. And Chris Randall thankfully recognized the 10 seconds that was about to be called, or else Anniston would have been able to get the basketball in pretty good scoring territory. So a timeout on the floor. Just a 30-second timeout as White Plains has led for the entire night, as much as 13 points at the end of the third quarter. As Anniston has played, especially defensively, well in spurts, but just haven't been consistent on the offensive end of the floor tonight.
Yeah, bottom line, Anniston's got to create a turnover and have some success offensively quickly.
Nearly got a turnover that time as Ray up ahead. Pump fakes and will miss the layup as the rebound goes out of bounds off of Anniston. Coach Chris Randall's going to have a lot of talking points as far as tomorrow for his team at the turnovers and some of the missed layups tonight. As Chris Randall talking with one of our 3 officials, as that'll allow a substitution for Anniston to come in. Jonathan McKinney, Daniel Holmes, and Michael Morris Our trio of officials tonight from the Alabama High School Athletic Association. They said the ball went off of Anniston on the floor as the call will stand. So Barksdale will inbound. 23.7 seconds to go. Anniston will need to foul here to keep the game going. The inbounds pass floats to Johnson as he lost it and turns it over. Here's Lewis on the run out as he lays it in for two.
Can't stop it. They got to get a turnover or a foul. There's a quick foul.
Well, there's the foul with 12.9 seconds to go, and the lead down to 2 for White Plains.
Boy, a couple of free throws here would start spreading a little icing on the cake, I think.
Well, first off, Wheeler has to go up and make the free throws.
Absolutely.
Josh Wheeler, 1 of 2 the last time he went to the free throw line. Shoots and scores.
Yeah. I can't think of anybody, if I'm White Plains, that I'd rather have on the line than Wheeler.
So we'll have a substitution. Kyron Brown back in for Anniston. As checking out will be Takorian Downey. Next up for Anniston will be a home game against Lincoln at the end of the week as the free throw up and good. So 2-possession lead as Josh Wheeler up to 9. Here's Lane with 7, shoots a contested 3, no. As Francis on the rebound as he'll lay it in for 2.
But they can't stop it, it's over.
As that's the end of the ball game, as Anniston comes back hard in the fourth quarter, down 13 as they cut what was a 13-point deficit down to 2, but White Plains able to survive tonight on the road as they lead wire to wire in a 48-46 win over Anniston. We'll take the timeout, and we'll talk with Coach Chris Randall, the winning coach for tonight, and begin our postgame after this timeout.
Step into the offices of J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA, where you'll find professional one-on-one service for business and individual clients. In this ever-changing tax and economic climate, you can count on receiving the expert advice you need. J. Britt Middlebrook works hard to provide every client what they need to meet all deadlines. Tax season will be here soon. For all your accounting service needs, call or stop by at 1913 Berry Street in Oxford. That's J. Britt Middlebrook, CPA.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver Card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
White Plains wins, leading wire to wire tonight as they survive and hold on to defeat Anniston 48-46. James Hardy with you, and we'll send it across the way for Jim Jacobs and winning head coach for White Plains, Chris Randall.
Chris, they're not all pretty.
Yeah, we tell the boys all the time, we're not painting, we're counting. So it doesn't have to be pretty all the time. We'll take a win, especially on the road at Anniston.
All right, what do you take out of this that you got to work on before Friday? I mean, obviously the turnovers are a big deal.
Yeah, you can't practice their kind of intensity, their kind of pressure. We went 5-on-7 for a couple of days. You know, athleticism and their length, and they got such good ball skills. They're so well coached. I mean, Coach Brown does a wonderful job with their pressure defense. And you know, I felt like when he switched from the trap to the man, I felt like we were going to be in good shape, and actually. We struggle more against the man, which we're usually better against. So we'll take it. It's a good win on the road. Not going to apologize for it being ugly.
All right, talk a little bit about Jacksonville. I mean, obviously it's a big region counter game. You know, they're the defending state champs, and everybody kind of wants to say, everybody kind of wants to say, well, you know, Broom's gone. They're not what they were, but this is a good basketball team.
Devin Barcel's still the best player in the area, and they have him back, and he's still unguardable at times. You know, he's a tremendous player, a tremendous athlete. And Jaquan Irvin is as good a two-guard as you're going to see. He's a ball hawk on defense, very aggressive, shoots it well. So we have our hands full. I'm glad we have an extra day to prepare for him. You know, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we have 3 days. And so that's good. Try to get healthy, try to get well, get our legs back under us. And, you know, there's nothing like going on the road it's great. This is a great warm-up to get ready to go to Jacksonville on Friday.
Go celebrate with your kids.
All right, Jim, thank you. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, Jim, and thank you to Coach Chris Randall, as that'll do it for tonight's ball game. As your final score, White Plains 48 and Anniston 46, as leading the way for both teams for White Plains was Carter Johnson with 17 points, followed by Coleman Ray's 12, and close to double figures was Josh Wheeler with 9. And leading the way for Anniston was Ja'Cory Lane with a dozen. Also, Devin Coleman had 9 points. Delroy Francis also with 9. Kyron Brown with 5 for Anniston. And as we close things out tonight for our first FNN high school basketball game of the week, very interesting ball game tonight, a game that White Plains led the entire night, but give a lot of credit to Anniston. Obviously, they weren't on their A game tonight, but they certainly gave the effort, especially defensively, and really that effort almost got them to the finish line successfully tonight at home.
You know, and I think what Torrey Brown is probably telling his kids in the locker room right now is, look, we had a great second half effort, but we got to score. You know, I mean, and, you know, maybe when he gets his top scorer back after the illness, they'll be an even better basketball team. But, you know, Anniston is Anniston. They're going to be around come February.
Well, Anniston will host Lincoln on Friday for their next game as they drop to 5-3 on the season. But as Coach Randall and you mentioned, Jim, a big game coming up on the road for White Plains as they go up to Jacksonville this Friday. But they improved to 10-3 on the season, and the momentum, more importantly, of a big road win at Anniston tonight.
Absolutely. Well, thanks to all our sponsors for working with us tonight. I want to mention once again Dorman Reynolds Insurance, Chris Reynolds, also Fred Wilson from the Calhoun County Commission, and, of course, the three you see there on your screen that will be with us all season, S&H Waterproofing and Construction, Bucks Island Marine. Don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote.
That's right. And we'll be basically almost going up the Coosa River, at least for me anyway, from Lincoln when it comes to that trip to Spring Garden tomorrow, as we'll be making our way to Cherokee County tomorrow night for a big basketball game between Spring Garden and Handley.
That's going to do it from here, partner. Send us home.
That's right. So for Jim Jacobs and all of our folks here at FNN, James Hardy signing off, as once again our final score is White Plains 48 and Anniston 46. You've been watching the FNN High School Basketball Game of the Week.
It's game day, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
from the Loft Tackle Store,
from the team in service,
from the team in parts,
from the sales team,
from the Bucks Island family. Good luck and go get 'em, boys.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. BucksIsland.com or call 1-800-I'm-READY. Let our team help you win on the water.
Hi, welcome to Classic 13. How can I help you? I was thinking about getting a tattoo. Do I need to make an appointment? No, we take walk-ins every day. Let's find someone to help you. Follow me. Hey, if you'll have a seat right here. Thank you.
Come down to Classic 13, where good tattoos aren't cheap and cheap tattoos ain't good.
Daffron Auto Salvage in Pell City is where you'll find over 30 acres of automotive salvage. Plus, a warehouse full of quality part auto salvage, you'll find it all. Engine parts, transmissions, rear ends, radiators, suspension, body parts, auto glass, even tires and wheels. You'll also get fast, friendly service. It's been that way since 1965. Don't pay too much for parts. Think used first. Daffron Auto Salvage, 793 Old Cold City Road in Pell City. For local and long-distance 24-hour towing or paint and body shop work at affordable prices, call David's Wrecker Service and Rayburn's Automotive in Jacksonville. You want excellent customer service? You always get quality workmanship. Plus, they're insured, licensed, and bonded. Here's the number, 256-435-7083. Located at 1116 Alexandria Road Southwest in Jacksonville. Steve Rayburn at David's Wrecker Service and Rayburn's Automotive wishes good luck to all our area teams.
Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
We come to you from L.E. Bell Field here in Heflin, Alabama at Cleburne County High School as, like last season, an important game to at least possibly decide who goes to the Class 4A playoffs later on this season, as the Cleburne County squad will host Munford here on our FNN High School Football Game of the Week, presented to you this week by Urban Ristique. And we welcome you in. A happy game day wherever you are watching us from here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. James Hardy with you, along with Coach Eddie Field. And Eddie, like last season, this is an important game for both of these teams as far as one of these teams trying to get to the playoffs. And Cleburne County so far off to a really good start. If they can win tonight, they will already have surpassed their entire win total from the 2022 season, and we haven't even gotten through the month of September.
Right, and you're talking about being possibly 2-0 in the region, which is great. And, you know, of course, the Munford Lions have to actually be as critical to them as well, you know, with having a loss in the region and, you know, one win. So it's going to be very important.
And this is kind of a tale of two programs right now. Munford, a very young squad, and talking with Coach Michael Easley yesterday as far as his Munford team, he does have a handful of seniors on the roster, about 11 seniors to be exact, but only about half of those really have any sort of significant playing experience, and we'll be seeing a lot of freshmen, sophomores, and some juniors as well. And really one of those key figures that we'll be seeing, Eddie, as far as one of those youngsters, is sophomore quarterback B.J. Anderson.
Well, you know, the quarterback is what make it go, and, you know, it's a great thing with him being young, you know, because you know, you definitely have something to build on and to build around. So, you know, that's one good thing. And, not having that many seniors, that are not actually big factors, is a plus. That means you're playing younger guys.
And then on the opposite side for the Cleburne County Tigers, they have 20 seniors on the roster, and also throw in they're going offensively to the wing tee this season.
And normally when you have 20 seniors, that means win now. So, because it's a big overhaul next year. So, they want to try to get everything they can out of those guys this year to set the standard for next year.
Munford coming in at 1-2 on the season, 1-1 in Class 4A Region 4, while Cleburne County at 2-1 overall, 1-1. Check that 1-0 in Class 4A Region 4. And we had another 4A Region 4 bout last week, not too far away from here in Jacksonville, and it was nip and tuck between Anniston and Jacksonville, but it was Jim Ogle and company pulling away late and dominating the fourth quarter in last week's FNN high school football game of the week. This will be, looks like an offset eye out of the pistol. This will be a fumbled snap that time. A loose ball is a scramble for, and looks as if Jacksonville pounces on it for the first turnover of the game. Ogle throwing over the middle. That is complete for the first down to Amori Young. And it'll be the give to Sykes, who gets some pretty decent room, and he's out in the open field 40. Needs to get around a couple of defenders and deep into Jacksonville territory. A big man in motion in Lewis, as it'll be the keeper for Doss. Good blocking on the right side as he's in the clear and into the end zone for the touchdown. Will be Ogle under pressure, has to throw, gets deflected, and is it intercepted? It might be intercepted, and if it is, and it is, that is a big turnover for Anniston. Under pressure with a flag on the plays. He'll chunk it down the field with a receiver behind the defense, and it is picked off. On 3rd and 5, winds up and throws down the field into double coverage. That's a perfect throw and a completion to Kedrick Fisher. English will get out of a couple tackles, get the David's Appliance first down, and he's going to take it to the house. There's Doss behind his center, and with the surge, waiting for the official indication. Looks as if from my vantage point he got in, and looks as if he did officially get in for the touchdown. The snap and the play action is rolling will be Ogle. Firing toward the end zone. That's complete and into the end zone for the touchdown for Jackson Bonner. Dobbins will get the try, though, as he'll go around the far side and break a tackle, and he's in the open field 45-40. Has one more man to beat. Is he still down the sideline? And is he in? Give him 6. Snap for Ogle. He'll throw over the middle. Perfect throw, complete just shy of the goal line. Retreating deep to punt in zone will be Darionte Brooks. Gets the snap and gets it blocked. That'll land about the 16-yard line, and plenty of time. Throws toward the end zone, and the back shoulder fade caught for the touchdown.
He is back coming at him. You got a little bubble screen right there. And
bubble screen complete indeed to Jaden Lewis as he's off to the races 40. And out of bat gun as Doss throwing toward the end zone, has a receiver and caught for the touchdown. Jaden Lewis on Ogle, rolls, stops, fires down the field, has a receiver complete. That's Monty Sinclair, and he's going to go 10-5, give him 6. Touchdown, Jacksonville. 2-point conversion try. Ogle under pressure. He'll have to be flushed to the near sideline, and he's going to go in on the scramble for the 2-point conversion. This will be the RPO pass complete to Sinclair for the touchdown. Needs to get to the 11 for the first down, and look at that pile go toward the end zone as they're dragging up the pile of humanity into the end zone for the touchdown.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNN Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnn.bank. Member FDIC.
It's game day, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
from the Loft Tackle Store,
from the team in service,
from the team in parts,
from the sales team,
From the Bucks Island family, good luck and go get 'em, boys.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. bucksisland.com or call 1-800-I'm-READY. Let our team help you win on the water.
The Food Barn in Raglan offers the best in good old-fashioned hometown service when you're shopping for groceries, plus the latest ways to get great food specials your way. Click on RaglanFoodBarn.com. Follow the Food Barn on Facebook and listen to the river for weekly specials.
Where you can get everything you need from down on the farm and it won't cost you a leg or an arm.
And they're open 7 days a week. For the best cuts on quality meats, great service, and great prices, it's the Food Barn in Raglan.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Bama Sheds and Pole Barns, locally and family owned with the best customer service. Custom built to fit your needs with free delivery and setup. Design and price online or stop by and see what we can do for you. Nobody beats our prices and nobody beats our quality. Built in Alabama, made in Alabama. BamaSheds.com.
The SNH Waterproofing and Construction Countdown to Kickoff continues here on our FNN High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you this week by Urban Rustique. A big one tonight in Class 4A Region 4 between Munford and Cleburne County. And as we bring in Jim Jacobs along with Coach Eddie Bullock, we still have a lot of big ones around the state to look at as far as region games, mostly around the Yellowhammer State.
Coach, I'm glad you made it tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad to be here.
I was worried about you for a while. Let's talk some big ones, guys. This is a big game tonight for Pleasant Valley. And, Eddie, I think if Nix's boys pick up the W, they're pretty much a lock for playoffs, and that hadn't happened out there lately.
Absolutely, and I think that's a good incentive for them, to know that if they pick it up, that their playoffs are looking great. So, I'm kind of leaning toward PV at home.
Yeah, I like the Raiders as well. What you think, James?
Same thing here. Big game tonight. Really a program-turning game for them, so Pleasant Valley with the W.
If anybody's had Piedmont's number lately, it's been the Ohatchee Indians. I don't know if they can do it tonight at the Field of Champions, but, Eddie, I see this as a pretty even-Steven matchup tonight.
Right, and I see it the same, Jim. I think that Ohatchee has had Piedmont number, but I think for some reason tonight, Piedmont is probably going to play pretty well at home, and I think they'll come out with a pretty close victory at home.
I could go either way on this one, but Piedmont winning last week on the road at Plainview was big for them, and I think they carry that over at home and beat Ohatchee.
Okay, I like the Bulldogs as well, but don't be surprised. All right, Oxford at Pinson Valley. We find out tonight, Eddie, just a little bit more about how good this Yellow Jacket team really is.
Right, they actually been playing well and look like they've been pretty resilient too. They seem to kind of start off a little bit slow, but then they've actually been picking it up. And I don't mean season-wise, I mean during the course of the game. But I think they pretty legit this year, so I think they may go over and steal one at Pinson Valley.
Yeah, a big game will go a long way, James, toward region standings as well. I mean, if they can get the W tonight, it's going to come down to them and Clay Chalkville likely for that region. And regardless of how that game would come out, Oxford would still get to host in week 1.
Oh, absolutely. It's a game for Oxford that they can't take lightly, but I do think they go on the road and get an important region win.
All right, Hewitt-Trussville at Hoover. I put this one in this week for more of what's not there as to what this game really is. What is it, James? Hoover is not ranked this week for the first time, and is it 230-something month? It's some ridiculous amount.
I couldn't tell you the last time that Hoover hasn't been a top 5 team in the state of Alabama, much less a top 10 team. So this is definitely uncharted territory for the Hoover Bucks. And right now at 1-3 on the season, with their one win coming up by 8 over Spain Park. Tough times in Hoover, and I think those tough times continue, fellas.
I agree. I just, Hoover is just not Hoover, and they're just struggling. I mean, in a few words, they're just struggling. And I think here at Trussville goes in and get a victory against Hoover as well.
All right, guys, let's pause from what we're doing and get the national anthem now here from the local PA system here at L.E. Bell Field. Here we go.
High school prayer ball club follows by playing of our national anthem.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this evening you've given us. We pray you watch over us tonight and keep everyone safe. We pray you protect all players and participants in tonight's game, and that they play with good sportsmanship. Thank you for the freedom of our country gives us and support our community provides for us to be here. In Jesus' name, amen.
I've got the top of it. Throwing that thing up there. They're trying to set world record here.
Band with our national anthem as we'll continue to take a look at our big ones on the SNH countdown to kickoff, and we'll take another look at Hoax Bluff and Westbrook Christian.
I think this is going to be a great one here. Coach Smith got those guys out there rolling, and they playing pretty well, and of course seeing Hoax Bluff down the road, and I don't know, I'm a little bit kind of twisted between this game, but I think Hoax Bluff may pull out a close one at home.
This is another kind of 50-50 game for me, and I'm going to go with the road team in this one, Westbrook Christian.
If I had to pick this game before we went to Hoax Bluff, I would have picked Westbrook Christian. But after I saw Hoax Bluff, even though it was Glencoe, Coach, they showed me some physicality, and that wins your football game.
Absolutely, and I just think they probably going to wear them down, Of course, Coach Smith, he knows what to do there, so, hey, he the man. He know that.
Yeah, to beat a man, you got to beat the man. Well, tonight I'm giving the nod to Coach Rob to beat the man, Hoax Bluff over Westbrook Christian. All right, this may be the game in this part of the state, although there's another one down in Clay County that they'd probably argue about. We'll talk about it in a minute. Geraldine and Sylvania. Eddie, this is probably a region championship game tonight.
I believe so, man. It's just, Hey, you talk a 50-50 game, you know, this game right here, it's just tough to pick between those two. I mean, both of them are playing so well, and it's like you said, it's a region game, but, you know, I think I'm going to have to go with Sylvania at home.
I think I'm with Eddie on this one. Sylvania's playing very well, scored 64 points at Ohatchee last week, and I think they continue the point scoring at home tonight.
I would have given Geraldine a potential nod if it had been at Geraldine, but I think with the game being at Sylvania tonight, Coach, you got to go with the Rams.
That's the only reason.
All right, here's the other game I mentioned just a minute ago. And if I were buying tickets tonight, this is the one I would have bought a ticket to, because this one is going to be physical, Eddie.
Yep, it's going to be some head knocking, some face smashing, and I mean, just an old good old country football game, you know, between, two, I call them two country teams, I mean, but they got tremendous football tradition. And, just seeing Hanley, I think Hanley can go down in there and maybe pull out a close one.
I think at home, Central Clay County pulls it off by one possession.
Well, I tell you what, it's hard to bet against Danny Horn.
That's right.
You know, they're number 3 in the state. They're unbeaten. Hanley's number 5 in the state in Class 4A. They're unbeaten. But I got to give the nod tonight to the Vols because of home field advantage and nothing more. But I can say this, whoever supplies the ice for the ice baths in that place, they're going to do darn well tomorrow, Coach.
That's right.
All right, next up, Arab at Scottsboro. Both these teams undefeated. Both of these teams looking pretty solid. What do you think about this one, Eddie?
Huge game. And, again, both teams are playing extremely well. Two big teams. I mean, they just got pretty decent tradition, but I think I'm going to go with Scottsboro at home on this one.
Both of these teams playing very well so far, and, yeah, I got to go with the home team as well, Scottsboro.
I like Scottsboro in this one as well, guys. I think they get it done tonight. All right, Spring Garden at Winterboro, Eddie.
Well, you always said go Garden, go. Them being on the road, well, I think I'm just going to do what you say what you said. I think I'm going to say go Garden, go on the road.
Go Garden, go as well.
All right, now I'm going to go with Spring Garden to knock off the Bulldogs. And that gets us to our game tonight as you see the captains getting ready to walk out on the field for our coin toss.
In fact, as we take a look at Munford and Cleburne County, this has been at least a series in recent years that's been dominated by Munford, as they've won 7 of the last 8 in this series and have taken a 22-18 lead overall in this series, as we are inching toward as far as our coin toss and the captains' meetings for both of these teams as they've turned the lights out as far as pregame festivities here at L.E. Bell Field. So we'll send it down to the field momentarily for Ron Burgess, our referee, and our toss of the coin brought to you by David's Wrecker.
At number 20. How you doing, Mr. Burgess? Mr. Burgess.
Good to meet y'all.
Mr. Proper, Mr. Burgess. Hey, first of all, congratulations on being chosen the captain. That tells us you're leaders. Part of being leaders is help us out with sportsmanship, making sure each of your teammates has their knees covered, all that kind of stuff, okay? That's your responsibility. Play clean, all right? You guys cause issues with chirping and all this other kind of stuff. The only way we can control it is with flags, and we don't like to do that, all right? So you guys help us out, all right? Understand. Nothing wrong with a good hard football play. Nothing wrong with helping a young man up either. Munford's our big team. They got calls. There's a stop, there's hips, and there's heads. What are you going to call young man? Loud enough for Mr. Pro. Hey, guys, if I drop, flip it over my flip. I've got tails. So you toss more, what your coach wants you to do. That's exactly what he. Everybody sit tight. Cleveland County's won the toss. They've elected to defer to the second half. So you football at this point. You ain't getting football, right? And you guys want to defend the scoreboards, what your coach told me. I want you guys to step over here. Munford, step right here with me. Hey, we're going to be receiving on this side of the field, okay, guys? We're going to be receiving on this side. Let's shake them up. Hey, let's have a good, hard, clean game.
So there you see Ron Burgess telling us that Cleburne County wins the toss and they will defer their option to the second half. And so Munford will receive the football to begin tonight's Class 4A Region 4 game. And as we get closer to kickoff here on our SNH Countdown to Kickoff, Eddie, provide us some of your keys to victory for both teams.
Well, one of the keys always is, you got to take care of the football. Both teams have to take care of the football. And then, again, I think with both of these teams being basically spread teams, which you said Cleveland County's went to the wing T, I think they're going to have to establish some kind of dominance at the line of scrimmage in the trenches. And, whoever gets off to a big start there, physical-wise, I think will end up winning the game.
And, in fact, before we begin tonight's ball game, got a note before tonight's ball game as far as Ron Burgess's AHSAA crew. Jason Green, one of the normal members of this officiating crew, not in action tonight because last week he had at least suffered a broken leg in their trip to Alexandria during that game. So certainly our thoughts and prayers from FNN and the officiating crew from Ron Burgess. Also, you take a look at the LED lights here at L.E. Bell Field. Actually, one of the cooler pregame, at least light shows that we've seen around the area, Eddie. And in fact, while we were looking at some big ones, the Cleburne County football team walked right through the stands as far as their pregame entrance.
Well, it's a first for me. I think it's great, man. I was actually looking at the lights, and I watched the red lights. They had a couple of red lights shining on the side of the visitors' bleachers, and hey, if this don't amp up the kids, hey, nothing will. I've never seen anything at the high school level like it, and it's awesome.
There you see Munford last season at 6-5 overall. They lost narrowly in the first round of the Class 4A playoffs to American Christian Academy out of Tuscaloosa. So Munford looking for their second, at least an opportunity to get to their second consecutive Class 4A playoff appearance. As we get set for kickoff from Heflin, Alabama at Cleburne County High School here in East Alabama. James Hardy, Coach Eddie Bullock, and the rest of our FNN crew with you as Urban Rustique presents our FNN High School football game of the week. And we're about set to get things kicked off as right now Munford 1-2 overall, 1-1 in region play, while Cleburne County 2-1 overall, 1-0 in region play. Cleburne County lost 35-21 in a non-region match in their home opener last week against Boaz. And last season, these two teams played to a 42-28 decision won by Munford. So it'll be Cleburne County ready to kick off. Noah Morgan will get set to kick things away for the Cleburne County Tigers as they're in their black tops and bottoms this Friday evening. A happy game day. Settle in as we are underway as the onside kick gets covered up by Munford, and they'll have outstanding field position right around midfield in a non-region match. And so Munford will get things started in first down and 10 as iCare Alabama will present our first down decision. At least for both of these offenses, they certainly want to churn out those iCare Alabama first downs. But Dana Lacey's Beauty Mart presents our first quarter here on the FNN High School football game of the week, and we'll take a look fully at the Munford starting lineup presented to you by Alabama's conservative leader, Congressman Mike Rogers. B.J. Anderson, the starting quarterback, as they'll have basically a full house backfield as a good surge along the left side of the offensive line, but good reaction as well as Amari Edmondson gets the first carry of the ball game across midfield into Cleburne County territory at the 49-yard line. So that'll be a gain of a couple on first down. And there you see Congressman Mike Rogers presenting our starting lineups. Amari Edmondson, the tailback. Receivers of Jalen Williams and Austin Wynn. Alex Petty will be the slot receiver. This will be the snap. And the give to Edmondson off the left side with big room and the first I Care Alabama first down of this ball game inside the 40 to the 37, maybe the 36-yard line.
Well, the outside zone right there, you know, you had a guard to jump out and lead up in there to counter kick out for him right there and had tremendous blocking on the left side. So that's a great job.
Hunter Sparks is the H-back for Munford, and the offensive line, Warren Smith left tackle, Corey Threet at left guard, Logan Smith the center, Manny Strickland at right guard, and it'll be Mosley at right tackle. The keeper for B.J. Anderson as he'll get met around the line of scrimmage and fall forward for about 1 yard on the play. Cleburne County defensively will have DeAndre O'Neal at a nose guard, defensive ends of Ty Nolan, as well as Kendall Miller. Dylan Mize, the defensive tackle, linebackers of Jake Dingler and James Cotton Jr., the outside backers, and Nate Adams will be the middle linebacker. The corners, Jake Littleton and Carter Hughes, and the safeties, Jacob Cavender and Austin Mayfield. That's your Mike Rogers starting lineup for the Cleburne County defense as Anderson all day to throw, and he wants to go deep down the field, and that's intercepted at the 9-yard line. Intercepted by Carter Hughes as the Cleburne County defense bends a little bit but doesn't break as they get the turnover.
Yeah, it's just a bad read right there. He threw in a triple coverage almost, and you know, his receiver had a step on the guy, and he should have put a little bit more air on it. He threw it on a rope, and it just died.
Infinity Docs presenting that replay look as it'll be Cleburne County getting their first look in the wing tee tonight on offense for this critical region game in Class 4A Region 4 for both of these teams. Hunter Gore, very much a steady game manager for the Cleburne County Tigers, will go under center. There you see Carter Hughes, the spotlight tailback, as he'll get the call off the left side, and he'll plunge forward and get a decent surge across the 10 to about the 13-yard line. Hughes, the primary halfback, Nate Adams and Jake Dingler will see kind of alternate at that fullback spot. Wingbacks of Jake Littleton and Austin Mayfield. Cade Schubert, the primary receiver, but we'll see some Grayson Freeman also in the game throughout tonight. Kendall Miller at the tight end. And along the offensive line, Aiden Richards will be the left tackle. Braden Beam, the left guard. Will Johnson, at center. Here's the give on the counter play. Big running room for Hughes as he'll get the I Care Alabama first down and a lot more as he'll get to near midfield at the 49-yard line. His own for a huge gainer and the first down.
Well, that's the wing tee. You got to follow your keys right there, and you can't try to watch the ball. If you watch this guard pulling out right here, generally they're going to take you to the football.
That's a gain of 36 yards on second down for Carter Hughes, who's gotten both carries so far on the drive.
You got to read your keys in the wing tee because the guards and tackles are going to take you to the football.
Here's the snap, and this will be the give to Adams as he'll get pretty good room off right end across midfield into Munford territory at the 47-yard line. Looking at the rest of the Cleburne County offensive line, it'll be Cy Altman at right guard and Ty Nolan, the right tackle. And Munford's defense, they're going to go with 5 linebackers tonight against this wing T offense. First up front, you'll have Tucker Thrasher and Devin Elder, the defensive ends, Seth Strickland, the nose guard, and you'll have Jacob King as well as Alex Petty as the outside linebackers. First down and 10 second and 5 as this will be the keeper off the left side. The give to Littleton as it'll be the first down and a whole lot more as this drive started all the way back at the 11 of Cleburne County and now close to the Munford 20 and a big first down for Littleton.
Well, and if you look again, big number 57 was pulling again right there. They're going to take you to the football, and you mentioned Munford running a 3-5 defense with 5 linebackers, James. Normally they want the 3 guys to be what we call trash players and just clog it up so the linebackers can run and make plays.
That's the second I Care Alabama first down of this drive for Cleburne County as they come in at 2-1, playing their second home game in as many weeks. First and 10, this is a red zone opportunity for Cleburne County. as it'll be the delay give going to Hughes off of left guard as he'll go forward to about the 15-yard line. And coming out of the bottom of the pile is one of the inside linebackers, Gatlin Watts on the tackle, Ella Smith the other inside linebacker, Hunter Sparks the middle linebackers. There you take a look at Michael Easley, the head coach for the Munford Lions, as he's trying to get his defense in gear, as Cleburne County has already been able to basically physically overwhelm Munford as they started at the 11, and they're now just shy of the Munford 15-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 6 after a Hughes 4-yard gain. There's the snap. And this will be the give right up the middle, and a fumble on the play, and Munford says that they have it, and waiting for the official indication, they do. So we'll take a second look at a big turnover, as looks as if an issue on the exchange as you see that ball pop up on the second look, and Alex Petty goes to the bottom of the pile and comes up with the fumble recovery for Munford.
Well, the fullback hit the hole too fast. He ran into the pulling guard. You had number 57 pulling, and they actually collided, and that's what caused him to fumble.
So it'll be 1st down and 10, both teams trading turnovers on their opening possession. 7:21 remaining in the opening quarter. As he'll be get the give to Edmondson as he'll turn the corner, maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. Excellent defense that time to string out that sweep play as Dylan Mize comes up with the tackle. So it'll be 2nd down and about 10 yards coming up for the Munford offense as they begin their first drive around midfield. We're able to get 1 first down, and then B.J. Anderson threw an interception around the 10-yard line.
Well, and for Coach do an onside kick on the very first play, I think that kind of tells the story of how much confidence he has in his defense.
Here's the give to Edmondson, trying to bounce off the near side, as Edmondson able to turn the corner and get knocked out of bounds across the 20 to about the 22-yard line. As we approach 6.5 minutes to go here in the opening quarter, it's going to present a 3rd down situation coming up. And the line to reach will be
right there to get to the outside right there.
Edmondson turns it up, and he'll be about a yard shy of the 1st down. That's Nate.
Offensive part that caused the fumble.
Our first quarter brought to you by Dana Lacey's Beauty Mart. Certainly appreciate all of our sponsors for helping us at least present to you the FNN High School football game of the week this week. Alex Petty to punt. And there you see the deep man for Cleburne County set to return. As Cleburne County going to get some excellent field position as they'll be returned to around the 45-yard line. As returning it will be Jacob Cavender for the Tigers of Cleburne County. So they'll have it 1st down and 10. 5:38 remaining, and so far a scoreless opening quarter as both teams have turned it over so far in the first quarter. A B.J. Edmondson interception and then a fumble from Cleburne County when they were driving inside the Munford 20. It'll be a 1st and 10 from the Munford 45-yard line as Cleburne County in their black tops and bottoms and the white tops and bottoms for Munford. Off of right tackle goes Adams that time, and a solid tackle for Munford as you have one of their reserve linebackers coming up to make the tackle in Ja'Cory Threet. So it'll be a 3-yard gain for Adams. We'll be seeing a lot of physical running out of that wing T, Eddie, as far as this new wing T offense from Cleburne County.
Right, wing T offense is designed for power and those little scat backs that can get up in there.
Here's the snap, and this will be the give to Hughes as he'll cut it up the middle and get across the 40. He'll fall forward to about the 39-yard line, so that'll be about another 3 yards. 3rd down and 4, but at this point, basically a 4-down territory for Cleburne County.
Yes, I don't think you'll see them punting the football right there. You know, as well as, you know, if they're doing onside kick and giving the football at midfield, I'm sure you probably won't see a punt right here.
Line to reach will be the 35-yard line for the 1st down. Third and officially 3 as Adams will be taken down just about a yard, maybe a yard and a half shy of the first down. Threet helping out on the tackle. Also Warren Smith in the area of the tackle that time for Munford. So it'll be 4th down and 1, and more beef coming in as for Cleburne County, as you'll have that number 34 coming off the bench, Jake Dingler at a fullback spot.
I think you're probably fixing to see power right here. They're probably going to line up, and it's just going to be, we coming at you.
Full house backfield on 4th and a long 1 as the quarterback sneak for Hunter Gore, as he will pick up his iCare Alabama first down, as he'll stay on his feet momentarily and keep the drive alive. So Gore picking up his first carry of the night. Nothing fancy, but more than gets the job done to keep the drive going for Cleburne County.
Right, that's quarterback sneak / scrum play where the backs just run up and push him past the first down yard marker.
First down and 10 coming up. That's the third iCare Alabama first down of this first quarter for Cleburne County's offense. Another full house backfield. And the give this time will go to Adams as he'll turn the corner and get the first down to the 20-yard line. So another iCare Alabama first down, as we'll take a second look at that 12-yard gain by Nate Adams. Breaks a couple of tackles that time. And so far, really the battle up front for Cleburne County being won by their offensive line, as this is their second red zone trip of this first quarter.
That's just straight old school triple T formation right there. Just a full house. Hey, we
as he'll fall forward closer on second effort to the goal line, but he'll be about a baby step shy of that goal line with a flag on the play for a sideline warning. So Ron Burgess immediately throwing out the flag after the play, and it looks as if it's, I believe, a sideline warning going on Cleburne County. Or at least that's, we'll find out here momentarily.
Replay 1.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. If he marked it back to the original line of scrimmage, they were going to have to replay the down. Looked like he was trying to get it out before the play actually initiated.
So actually they'll say that it's a illegal procedure penalty on Cleburne County. So still first and goal, but this time back at the 6-yard line. Gore under center. Going to give to Adams, streaking off the left side and diving into the end zone. Give him 6. Touchdown, Cleburne County.
Just power football to the left. You know, they line up in that T formation and just hat on a hat and lead him up in there, you know.
Adams with the 6-yard dive into the end zone. As here you see him extend that football, diving into the end zone in our Infinity Docks replay. PAT coming up. This will be Morgan on the point after try. That line drive kick is up, and it is good. We'll take the timeout. 2:03 left, opening quarter. Your score, Cleburne County 7 and Munford nothing.
That Joe Biden and Hunter Biden were paid $10 million in bribes.
The floodgates are literally open here.
Mike Rogers is standing up to crooked Joe Biden in D.C. Mike Rogers is our way of fighting back.
Our FNN High School Football Game of the Week presented to you this week by Urban Rustique. They have a couple of big things coming up in the month, late in the month of October around Halloween that we'll tell you about later on in our telecast. But We've got yet another kickoff coming up thanks to Wildflower Florals and Gifts. As their number at 256-463-5557 is another little kind of onside kick that time. As will be Munford ready for it again. And they'll have the football. Will the Munford Lions close to midfield at about the 47 their own. 2:01 remaining in the opening quarter as Cleburne County has played exceptionally well along the line of scrimmage offensively, as they've had one deep drive from their own 11 to the Munford red zone, where they fumbled inside the 20-yard line in their opening drive and then took their second drive from about the Munford 47 and had it capped off by a 6-yard touchdown run by Nate Adams. So Munford needing to respond. As it'll be Edmondson on the call, as he'll go right into the offensive line and get about 4 yards across midfield to the Cleburne County 49-yard line.
It's just a little inside zone. They went in a bunch formation wide. That's normally a decoy to get linebackers out of the box, get some players out of the box there. Cleburne County has a lot of beef right there on the inside.
Now, this is as far as quarterback B.J. Anderson for Munford, according to Michael Easley, getting more comfortable and better each and every week. A great athlete, a great young man as well. As he'll give off to Edmondson, trying to turn the corner, getting corralled, and he's going to be sandwiched for about a 3-yard loss. Excellent pursuit as there's a flag thrown late, looks like after the play. Cleburne County's strung out those stretch plays a couple of times already, Eddie, as we'll have to find out who this whistle's on. We'll find out from Ron Burgess the penalty. The flag was thrown a little bit, I think, after or right around where the tackle was made. So Munford looking for a break, as if the penalty is not on Cleburne County, then it's going to be a 3rd and long coming up. Ron Burgess still sorting things out as far as the yellow hanky on the field.
Face mask on the defense, 5 yards from the end of the run.
That's a big penalty in favor of Munford, as a 5-yard incidental face mask call, so that's going to bail out the Munford offense, as Cleburne County did everything well except finish the tackle on that run play. Approaching the 1-minute mark remaining in the opening quarter here in Cleburne County. Third, it'll be a 2nd and 5, as it'll be the keeper for Anderson, as he'll get the iCare Alabama first down. A zone read that time. Excellent fake by Anderson, as he gets the second first down of the first quarter for Munford. As they'll have the football close to the 40-yard line of Cleburne County. Dana Lacey's Beauty Mart presenting you our first quarter, and also our FNN High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by our friends at Victory Law. Under 40 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. Tevy set to the near side. Edmondson will at least fake to him, as the throw complete to the far side. Looks like the H-back in, or Petty rather, the slot receiver coming in motion, gets the catch. As he'll advance for about 4, maybe 5 yards, as we'll take another look at that first down pass.
That's a great play call, but if you look right there, he should be receiving the ball just a little bit sooner than that, because that's giving that cornerback a chance to come back up on him too quickly.
Carter Hughes on the tackle that time for Cleburne County, as we are through 1 quarter of play here in Heflin, as the Tigers of Cleburne County on the board first, as they have a 7-0 lead through 1 in this Class 4A Region 4 matchup here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Urban Ristique.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Tonight's FNN Game of the Week is sponsored in part by
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
We come to you from L.E. Bell Field here in Heflin, Alabama at Cleburne County High School as, like last season, an important game to at least possibly decide who goes to the Class 4A playoffs later on this season, as the Cleburne County squad will host Munford here on our FNN High School Football Game of the Week, presented to you this week by Urban Ristique. And we welcome you in. A happy game day wherever you are watching us from here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. James Hardy with you, along with Coach Eddie Bullock, Jim Jacobs, and our FNN crew with you from Heflin, Alabama here at L.E. Bell Field. And Eddie, like last season, this is an important game for both of these teams as far as one of these teams trying to get to the playoffs. And Cleburne County so far off to a really good start. If they can win tonight, they will already have surpassed their entire win total from the 2022 season, and we haven't even gotten through the month of September.
Right, and you're talking about being possibly 2-0 in the region, which is great. And, you know, of course, the Munford Lions have to actually be as critical to them as well, you know, with having a loss in the region and, you know, one win. So it's going to be very important.
And this is kind of a tale of two programs right now. Munford, a very young squad, and talking with Coach Michael Easley yesterday as far as his Munford team, he does have a handful of seniors on the roster, about 11 seniors to be exact, but only about half of those really have any sort of significant playing experience, and we'll be seeing a lot of freshmen, sophomores, and some juniors as well. And really one of those key figures that we'll be seeing, Eddie, as far as one of those youngsters, is sophomore quarterback B.J. Anderson.
Well, you know, the quarterback is what make it go, and, you know, it's a great thing with him being young, you know, because you know, you definitely have something to build on and to build around. So, you know, that's one good thing. And, you know, not having that many seniors, you know, that are not actually big factors, you know, is a plus. You know, that means you're playing younger guys.
And then on the opposite side for the Cleburne County Tigers, they have 20 seniors on the roster, and also throw in they're going offensively to the wing tee this season.
And normally when you have 20 seniors, that means win now. So, you know, because it's a big overhaul next year. So, you know, they want to try to get everything they can out of those guys this year to set the standard for next year.
Munford coming in at 1-2 on the season, 1-1 in Class 4A Region 4, while Cleburne County at 2-1 overall, 1-1. Check that, 1-0 in Class 4A Region 4. And we had another 4A Region 4 bout last week, not too far away from here in Jacksonville, and it was nip and tuck between Anniston and Jacksonville, but it was Jim Ogle and company pulling away late and dominating the fourth quarter in last week's FNN High School Football Game of the Week. This will be, looks like an offset eye out of the pistol. This will be a fumbled snap that time. A loose ball is a scramble for, and looks as if Jacksonville pounces on it for the first turnover of the game. Ogle throwing over the middle. That is complete for the first down to Amori Young. And it'll be the give to Sykes, who gets some pretty decent room, and he's out in the open field 40. Needs to get around a couple of defenders, and deep into Jacksonville territory. A big man in motion, and Lewis says it'll be the keeper for Doss. Good blocking on the right side as he's in the clear and into the end zone for the touchdown. Will be Ogle under pressure, has to throw, gets deflected, and is it intercepted? It might be intercepted, and if it is, and it is, that is a big turnover for Anniston. Under pressure with a flag on the plays. He'll chunk it down the field with a receiver behind the defense, and it is picked off. On 3rd and 5, winds up and throws down the field into double coverage. That's a perfect throw and a completion to Kedrick Fisher. English will get out of a couple tackles, get the David's Appliance first down, and he's going to take it to the house. There's Doss behind his center, and with the surge, waiting for the official indication. Looks as if from my vantage point he got in, and looks as if he did officially get in for the touchdown. The snap and the play action is rolling will be Ogle. Firing toward the end zone, that's complete and into the end zone for the touchdown for Jackson Bonner. Dobbins will get the try though as he'll go around the far side and break a tackle, and he's in the open field 45-40. Has one more man to beat. Is he still down the sideline? And is he in? Give him 6. Snap for Ogle.